Hello, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst. My name is Reverend Michelle Buchheit, and I'm the minister of this congregation. You are really lucky because you've tuned in to one of our summer Preaching by Parishioners services. This important program has been a part of this congregation for decades, and it gives congregants, parishioners, an opportunity to work through creating a service, including the sermon, the music, everything. I've been working with these folks since January, and you are in for a real treat. Each Sunday is different, and so be sure to check our website, uuamherst.org, to see what's on the menu for this week and next.
May we seek true questions. Let us enter into a spirit of meditation. Much of our human struggle is with what we do not know or understand. It is often difficult not to want answers, or even more difficult, not to think that we have them already. May we experience what we do not know, not as an individual failure, but as an invitation to community. May we seek not the true answers so much as the true questions, knowing that true questions make of our lives meaningful, even if sometimes restless, journeys. May we be grateful for the restless voices in our communities. Let us take a few moments of silence to listen for the restless voices within ourselves. May we be good company to one another in our questions and our journey. So may it be.
We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. I have 2 candles today because I am grateful for our fourth principle, the free and responsible search for truth and meaning. The kids' version of this is, we search for what is true. Freedom and responsibility. Those 2 big words, 2 very important ideas. Freedom, responsibility. Let's talk about freedom. What does freedom mean to our religion? It means to not be held back and that our folks get to think, the freedom to think. What about responsibility? What does that mean to you? To me, it means to take ownership. Our Unitarian Universalist histories are full of people who helped us understand that our search for truth and our job as meaning makers happens when freedom and responsibility are held together. So I'm going to light this first candle in thanks for our religious freedom. There it goes. Takes a little while for it to come down to catch the wax, so it can really start. Let's see. Give it a moment. There it goes. It's starting now. You know, it takes time, doesn't it? It takes time to work through things. That's our first candle. And now I'm going to light this second candle. Wait, just a minute. This candle looks surprisingly delicious. Huh. That's the wick. Now that's good. What do you think I just did? What just happened here? So you think I had candle? Are you sure? Could I have instead been eating a piece of potato, candy, jicama? One thing I love about being a Unitarian Universalist is that we get to form our own beliefs and decide what is true for us. That's the free part of our search for truth and meaning. And another thing I love about being a Unitarian Universalist is that even when we think we know or believe something, we get to question it and even change our mind. That's yummy. A lot of you believe that I had been holding 2 candles, right? Yeah, 2. Then you had to question that belief. Maybe some of you even guessed that maybe that really wasn't a candle. Maybe it was a fake candle made out of candy or potato or jicama. It was jicama. Really yummy vegetable. If you haven't tried, if you have never tried it, get one. And that's the responsible part of our search for what is true. Responsible. Unitarian Universalists try to keep an open mind and allow new information to reshape what we believe is true. And so, as you go into this new week and you learn new things, you might want to ask, you might want to pause and think to yourself, is that really true? How do I know? Questioning. If you do pause and question, you can also offer gratitude, because that is what Unitarian Universalists do in church all the time.
Hello, my name is Chris Berry. I've been giving sermons here at Unitarian Universalist Church for over 2 decades. The sermon today is Physicians of the Soul. Of all the hymns, the responsive readings, and the principles comprising our living tradition hymnal, the first 3 lines in the sources, which we Unitarian Universalists draw upon, connect with my soul the most. That first source is, and I quote, direct experience of that transcending mystery and wonder affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces that create and uphold life. Openness to the forces that create and uphold life infers an energy or power that upholds the life that was created by an accumulation of similar mysteries. There is a depth to understanding those natural forces that goes hand in hand with openness to the world's many cultural belief systems that seek to explain those forces. Being open to new mysteries that can unbalance existing perceptions requires a good relationship with the consciousness that defines us in our humanity. Consciousness is a big mystery that has intrigued and baffled philosophers and scientists throughout the ages. Humanity's efforts dealing with the complexities of this mystery has given rise to the healers that can address the confusion that can corrupt the intellect and create dis-ease, personal and social. Learning from experience needs sound perceptual judgments, and sometimes guides are needed to help us with renewing our spirit. In the process of becoming more human, early tribes had to learn how to incorporate this new growing intellect's awareness of the rhythms of the universe around them into answers about death, the rebirth of spring, the stars of the night, and the human dilemmas of their days. Sometimes we need guides and physicians to help us grow in our process of becoming fully human. The gathered experiences of the tribe and its healers were used to uphold the life of the whole. Wisdom traditions evolved into structured worship that could bind the tribe, nurturing the growing social needs for structure, the security of knowing where we fit and what to do. Early religious leaders were a necessary and important part of human social evolution. They not only gave continuity to living together, they provided solutions to the physical and emotive ailments experienced in the process of living together. The mystery of our consciousness includes surfacing anxieties and hurt originating within the subconscious. In humanity's early days, there were shamans that used the powers inherent in nature to heal the body and the soul. As societies grew, cultures such as in Egypt developed on their awareness of the human body, combined with their conceptions of the invisible world of the unconscious, and were called physicians of the soul. The effects of the collective subconscious on the conscious work of living gave rise to religion. We have no word to denote religion as a general human phenomenon in a way that some association with a specific type of religion does not color the concept. Maybe we should understand religion as any system of thought and action shared by a group which gives the individual a frame of orientation and an object of devotion. The drive and need for a common orientation is as essential to humans as it is necessary in animal nature. The healing of the internal dilemma of humanity's awareness of their separation from nature and themselves is echoed in the very word religion. The root of the word religion, which is the Latin religio, means to bind back. In the psychological field, the binding being done is the integration of the three constructs of the mental life of a person: the basic drive of the animal-like id, the daily reality of the ego, and the guiding significance of the superego are the immeasurable, misunderstood parts that comprise a human being and is what is needed to be bound back together. This is the realm of the unconscious parts of our mind, our psyche, our soul. There is a larger element in religious experiences than mere rituals, one which is most clearly exhibited and described by the ancient mystics. It is an attitude of oneness, not only in oneself, not only with one's fellow human, but with all life and, beyond that, with the universe. It comprises both the sharp and sometimes painful awareness of oneself as a separate and unique entity, with the longing to break through the confines of this individual organism and to be one with all.
Praise song, singing, raise voices ringing, move forward into the light. We're all equal voices, giving songs for the living. Sing as we soar through the night. We're just people, one today. We walk in the light, knowing we're all equal now. Be something to see. We're all equal, no matter the skin, with body or not. We are all just people. Wow, how does it feel not to be free? We're just people walking forward into the day. We're all equal. Walking forward into the light of the day. We're all equal voices. Our praise song is calling, calling for all people to sing on your way. We're just people, praise song, singing, raise voices ringing, move forward into the light. We're all equal voices, giving songs for the living. Sing as we soar through the night. We're just people, praise, sing, raise forward into the day. We're all equal voices, giving songs for the living. Sing as we soar through the night. We're just people, praise.
What if today we walk in the light, knowing
something to say. We're all equal, voice no matter the skin, we are all just equal. Sing as the soul remind. We're just people are the ones who are walking forward into the light of the day. We're all equal voices, our praise song is calling for all people to sing on your way. We're just people walking forward into the day. We're all equal voices calling. Hope is on the way. We're just people.
Now, psychologically, religion is meant to integrate humans at the highest and deepest levels of our personality, our psyche. The religious impulse is a legitimate response to the human curiosity and search for the larger reality to being human. In this age where reality is determined by data and evidence, we find that our personal and social health is also determined by the unseen, instinctual parts of our humanity. One important aspect of the religious experience is the wondering, the marveling, the becoming aware of life and one's own existence, and puzzling of one's relatedness to the world. The wondering is also the most significant therapeutic factor in psychological analysis. If the psychoanalyst is effective, it is because the patient acquires a capacity for being genuinely bewildered, marveling at the discovery of a part of their self whose existence was never suspected. The first step to learning is the curiosity and awareness of new experiences, but it's not without challenges. We have found that openness to the forces that uphold life has revealed as many mysteries as what created life in the first place. As I said earlier, there have been some cultures like Egypt where the priests were considered to be physicians of the soul. In other past cultures, such as Greece, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle didn't claim to speak in the name of revelation, but with the authority of reason and of their concern with man's happiness and the unfolding of his soul. Their themes on philosophy and ethics were at the same time early works on psychology. Psychology has evolved and has become a doctor of the soul also. Psychology is a new science, and psychoanalysis only came to attention when Freud became aware that he had gone far beyond the realm of medicine, the mechanisms for healing the body, and resumed a tradition that dealt intensely with the most human phenomena: love, reason, values, and conscience. With this idea of the function of the psychoanalyst, we find now two professional groups that are concerned with the healing of the soul: the priests and the psychoanalyst. There is much more to the human spirit and soul to be revealed through seriously delving into the realm of the unconscious. The mystery of consciousness is not just a poetic way of praising the spirit of wonder for the beings that we are. Consciousness has proved to be quite the scientific and philosophical conundrum. I facilitated a Thursday night book group that read many books about religion and humanism. I was particularly intrigued by Susan Blackmore's A Very Short Introduction to Consciousness that attempted to describe the various, many, scientific and philosophical theories of what and where consciousness is. Some, like psychologist Steven Pinker, say that we may be able to understand most of the detail of how the mind works, yet understanding consciousness itself may remain forever beyond our reach. One of the main points that I took from the readings was that the unconscious parts of our mind are a larger part of our internal makeup. Our conscious ego is only the mahout, the driver, attempting to guide the lumbering, insatiable elephant like unconscious through life's challenges. The driver, or the conscious ego, needs to have the proper relationship with the elephant, the unconscious, or the attempts at understanding ourselves will be harder than needed. The emergence of reason has created a split within humankind between the driver and the elephant, between conscious and the unconscious. This forces us to perpetually strive for new solutions to fill in the blank spaces of our knowledge and within our spirit. We have become tormented by this inner split, searching for another kind of harmony which can lift the curse by which we were separated from nature, and eventually ourselves. We have turned away from a oneness with others and a balance with nature. How do we heal this separation? What kind of doctor do we go to for a cure? So self-awareness, reason, and imagination have disrupted the harmony which characterizes animal existence, and being separated from this harmony has made humans into a freak of the universe. We are part of nature, subject to her physical laws, but we've significantly transcended animal existence and feel apart from the rhythms of nature. This separation from nature for the human animal is felt as a need to dominate our environment, Consequently, for the most part, our world is not experiencing a life of brotherliness, happiness, and contentment, but of spiritual chaos and bewilderment, dangerously close to a state of madness resembling schizophrenia, in which the contact with an inner reality is lost. We try to heal this split feeling and restore some unity and equilibrium by constructing an all-inclusive picture of our world that serves as a frame of reference to determine where we stand and what to do. The trouble is, they don't always include the others very well. Humans have evolved with the animal herd instincts intact, compelling us to seek security from a group, a leader, an accepted manner of perceiving the world. Civilization is enhanced by safely channeling our animal instincts, but social health requires that we be aware of the unconscious animal in us, own it, and know it as a part of us. Fortunately, throughout the ages, great souls have continued the process of studying and understanding the amalgam of the conscious and unconscious parts of the evolving human animal. We have to pay attention to our whole being. We need to feel connected. We can choose what's best to be connected to. Sometimes we need guides. Sometimes we need a doctor for the soul. Here, my friends, is a quote from Erich Fromm's book, Psychoanalysis and Religion, that underscored for me my passion for understanding the religious impulse through the application of psychoanalysis. This goes to the heart of the issue for me. It is this process of breaking through the confines of one's organized self, the ego, and of getting in touch with the excluded and dissociated parts of oneself, the unconscious, which is closely related to the religious experience of breaking down individuation and feeling one with the all. End quote. Just as there are mature and immature forms of loving and materialism, there are mature and immature manifestations of religion. Religion could be using their established rituals for nurturing the consolidation of the conscious person and their unconscious needs, evolving religions into alignment with social science. That day is coming. As a parting illustration of a mature religion and the use of, say, the Bible, where we must relearn scriptures that attempted to guide ancient, immature, and developing humanity. In Matthew 10, verses 34 to 36, Jesus says, "Think not that I am come to bring peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set man at variance against his father, and daughter against her mother, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." A typical religious way of interpreting this passage counsels a believer to guard against non-believers of one's own family. Sounds drastic, but using a psychological interpretation, we find an exhortation to grow up and heal the unconscious effects on ourself. Truly perceive your childlike need for an authoritarian father or nurturing mother figure, and integrate the personal id, ego, and superego, becoming a whole, integrated human. Jesus was actually trying to help us mature into the human potential. It's a new way of realizing and making use of natural religious impulses inherent within humanity's soul. Anyone aware of the many expressions of human knowledge are aware of prophetic souls of different cultures that write and speak to the glories and wisdom humans have gained during the evolution of the conscious human animal. The truth is there, ours to discover. We can heal our souls if we turn our attention to the needs of the inner self and take a rest from the materialism our bodies relish. Can the new science rekindle the mythic values that inform the religious wisdom traditions that have evolved alongside humanity? Both are there to help us comprehend being a part of nature and yet content with an understanding of a separation from the natural world by the very mysterious consciousness that defines us. We long to return to a connection with our earth roots and a true symbiotic and nurturing relationship with all that is. Religion, and now psychologists, are our physicians of the soul. Our species needs to recognize the importance of the collective unconscious, of the depths of the soul, and how it works with the conscious self as we experience our evolving humanity.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Despite the known material nature of the brain, the sensation of consciousness, of ego, of I-ness is so powerful and compelling, so fundamental to our being, and yet so difficult to describe, that we endow ourselves and other human beings with a mystical quality, some magnificent and non-material essence that blooms far larger than any collection of atoms. To some, that mystical thing is the soul. To some, it is the self. To others, it is consciousness.
Travel light and travel easy, till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy, and remember I'm your friend. Thank you for joining us in worship today. We hope that it has been a meaningful time for you. If you'd like to know more about the Unitarian Universalist Church of Amherst, or would like to find a way to give to our ministries, please check out our website, uuamherst.org. You can also text your gift to 833-987-1968. We look forward to seeing you again.